I'm Anastasia Chatzka, a fashion designer with over 20 years of experience and a sewing educator. And I'm really excited you're here to share another sewing adventure with me today. Welcome to Sewing Anastasia, and today I'm going to show you how to make a drawstring jewelry bag. It is so easy to make, and these are great gifts to give for the holiday and for birthdays. This project is also great for using up all your scraps that I know you have stashed away. If you're not already a subscriber to Sewing Anastasia, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to Sewing Anastasia. Also, I'm now teaching sewing classes in person in my design studio in Chicago, Illinois, and virtually, so make sure you check those out at sewinganastasia.com. Supplies for this project are so simple. You're going to need a small piece of fabric. I'm going to be using one that's 18 by 8 inches big. And you're also going to need a piece of trim or a piece of cording to use for the drawstring tote. You're also going to need your scissors and some matching thread. And that is it. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is make 2 little eyelets on the outside of the bag, so that way I have a spot to put my drawstring through at the end. For this next step, you're going to want to grab a little scrap of interfacing or a thicker fabric, just so that we have a reinforcement where we're putting our buttonholes. Okay, so we want to put the buttonholes on the outside of the fabric, but we want to know where our little casing's going to be. So we're going to iron this down 1 inch so that way we can see where it's going to be, and I'm going to keep that folded in. And now I know that I need my buttonholes or my eyelets that I'm going to create right here. So I want to find out where the center is so I can put one on the right and one on the left of the center. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to find where the center is, and I'm going to put a pin there. So now I know where the center of my bag is, and I know that I need an eyelet or a buttonhole on the right and on the left of that. So we are going to open this up, adjust our pin, and I'm going to take the interfacing and I'm going to place it right where I'm going to be putting my buttonholes. And now we can move over to the sewing machine and create those. To create the eyelet, you don't need to put on the buttonhole foot. So cool, right? All you need to do is put on the B foot, step on the pedal, and it basically just creates it for you. The foot for your machine could be different, so make sure you read your manual and you're putting on the correct foot to create the eyelet. So once you have your foot down, all you need to do is step on the pedal and it's going to create the eyelet. Check that out, so cool. Now we need to make one more. Our eyelets are finished and they look great. Now what we need to do is punch out the center of them. To cut out the center of the eyelet, you could use a razor blade, you could use a little pair of scissors. I'm going to be using the circular hole punch. So we're going to position this right in the center of our eyelet, and then we're going to go ahead and squeeze real hard, and it's going to make a hole. And we just need to pop out the center now. I'm going to use my scissors to just finish that. There we go. So now we have a little hole in the center of our eyelet, and we just need to do the same thing to the other side. So I have the eyelets punched out and it's looking great. Next, we're going to sew up the sides of the bag. I'm going to be using the overcasting stitch and attaching my overcasting foot so that way I can finish the edge and sew it all at the same time. Also, if you'd like to finish your edges first with a serger or a zigzag, you can totally do that. So I'm going to fold the rectangle together lengthwise, and we're going to sew it up on the sides here. I'm going to be using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance on the sides of my bag. Don't forget the back stitch. Back stitch at the end and cut. Our overcast stitch looks awesome. We have our straight stitch right here, and then we have the overcast stitch that comes horizontally and finishes the edge of our fabric so it's not gonna fray in the wash. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Don't forget to back stitch. Back stitch at the end and cut. Next, we're gonna give our little bag some corners. So we are going to take the fabric, pull it apart, and sew over the ends. What I mean by that is taking the flat bag and opening it up and pulling it apart. So that way we have a little triangle here, the little point of our bag. And now we're going to sew across the end here. We're gonna do it to this corner and our other corner over here. Now when I do this, I'm going to be measuring down 3/4 of an inch and then sewing across. If you wanted a bigger boxed edge at the bottom, you just need to come down lower and then sew across. Now we have our 2 corners sewn up, which has given us a nice little boxed bottom. The top edge of our bag is still raw and has the frayed edge, so I'm gonna overcast all the way around the top edge before I flip it over to do my top stitch. When you get to the end, back stitch and cut. Now that we have all of our edges finished, we are gonna turn under the top an inch and then stitch it down. We're gonna take this top edge and turn it under, and then we're gonna stitch it down. I'm gonna do it from the inside though, so that way I can see where my edge is. And we are just gonna stitch right next to our overcast with a straight stitch all the way around. Don't forget to back stitch and work your way all the way around the opening of the pouch. Overlap your stitches, back stitch, and cut. Our top stitch is looking great right below our eyelets here. Now what we need to do is get our cording inside of the eyelets. So I'm going to be attaching a safety pin to the end of the cord, and we're going to push it all the way through the channel that we have. So we're gonna take the end of the safety pin, put it through the eyelet, and just keep pushing it until we get back to that other eyelet. There's our other eyelet. We're gonna come right out and pull. We can remove our safety pin. I'm actually going to make my cords just a little shorter. And we can tie little knots on the ends of them, or you could put a little bead on the end of it. You've got a lot of options here. You can make a little tassel. That could be super cute. I'm just gonna give mine a nice little knot. There we go. And now let's cinch it up. And we have got the cutest little baggie ever. Look at how cute our satin drawstring pouch is. I love it. This is great for jewelry. This is great for putting your lingerie in when you're traveling, or maybe bringing a little extra change of something to work or to the gym, or maybe you want to fill it with snacks. This little pouch also makes for a great gift bag. Imagine making custom gift bags for all of your gifts forever, for birthdays and holidays and special occasions. I love this little bag so much. It is so cute. Thanks so much for watching Sew Anastasia today. I hope you had fun making a drawstring pouch with me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will get back with you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, give it some applause, and let me know what you're going to be making drawstring pouches for this holiday. I would love to see your projects, so make sure you also tag me in them at Sew Anastasia so that way I can share them with everyone else. I love sharing your creativity so that way we can keep each other inspired and growing as creative artists. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to Sewing Anastasia. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!